Faith in the Valley with Deeply. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by all the advice that is available today? One person tells you to follow your passion, another tells you to build a brand, someone else tells you to reinvent yourself, and then social media says one thing and books say another. Podcasts offer endless opinions from all sorts of people from different walks of life. And before long, many of us begin asking these questions. Why am I here? What is my purpose? Am I missing God's plan for my life? If you have ever asked any of those sort of questions, then today's reflection is for you. Our theme this week is based on Jeremiah 29 and verse 11, which states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord." Today's poetic reflection is called Your Life Has Purpose, and here is today's poem. In a world where there are so many messages, it can be hard to know what role to play. Opinions, gurus, books, videos and talk shows peddle out so many suggestions each day. Confusion tangles itself around your thoughts. Each idea competes with what others may think. Questions like, why am I here and what is my purpose, cause clarity to hide and shrink. But God reminds us that your life is not random and that for you He has a good plan ahead. You may have had struggles and felt hurt sometimes, but God is an expert in turning pain to a good plan instead. Never forget that your life has purpose, because God has stated that for you He has a plan. You are loved, you are unique, you are blessed, and you are special. And don't forget that God is your number one fan. In reflection, one of the greatest challenges in today's world is information overload. We are surrounded by opinions, advice, strategies, success formulas, and everyone seems to have an answer for how we should live our lives. And this poem opens by capturing that reality perfectly. And it says, in a world where there are so many messages. That line will resonate deeply because many of us feel overwhelmed by the noise. Everyone is speaking. Everyone is advising. Everyone is influencing. But very few people are helping others to hear God's voice. Then this poem highlights something that many of us experience. Confusion tangles itself around your thoughts. What a powerful image. Confusion rarely arrives all at once. It slowly wraps itself around our thinking. Questions begin to grow. Doubt begins to grow. Comparison to others begins to grow. And eventually, clarity feels difficult to find. This poem then introduces two questions that countless people ask, including myself. And that is, why am I here? What is my purpose? These questions are deeply human. People want to know that their lives matter, that their story matters, and that their existence is meaningful. As you watch this reflection, perhaps you are asking those very questions today. Then this poem shifts beautifully from confusion to truth. It says, but God reminds us that your life is not random. What a powerful statement. Your life is not random. Your gifts and abilities are not random. Your experiences are not random. Your journey is not random. Even the difficult seasons are not beyond God's ability to use for good. One of the strongest lines in this poem says, God is an expert in turning pain into a good plan instead. That line connects beautifully to everything that we explored in seasons 1 and 2, because many of us look back at painful chapters and we wonder, what was the point? Yet God often uses the very experiences we wanted to forget to prepare us for what is next. Pain can become wisdom, struggles can become strength, and valleys can become testimonies to help others. This poem reminds us that God's plans are bigger than our present circumstances. Jeremiah 29 and verse 11 doesn't say life will always be easy. It doesn't say it'll be smooth sailing. It says God has plans filled with hope and a future. How encouraging is that? And sometimes we only understand part of his plan after we have walked through difficult seasons. Then comes the beautiful encouragement near the end, and it says, never forget that your life has purpose. Not because of achievements, not because of status or class, not because of what others think, but because God created you intentionally, with value, with meaning, and with purpose. This poem closes by stating that you are loved, you are unique, you are blessed, and you are special. Those are words many of us need to hear today, because purpose begins with understanding who created you. And when we understand that God created us intentionally, we begin to trust that he is also created us purposefully. In closing, if you have ever wondered whether your life matters, whether your story matters, or whether God still has a plan for you, remember this: your life is not random. God sees you. God loves you. God is guiding you, even when it doesn't feel like it, even when you feel lonely, even when you feel confused sometimes. And remember that God still has a purpose for you. I genuinely believe that God has a purpose for me. Even as I speak with you all here, I believe that this is with intention. If this reflection encouraged you in any way today, then write in the comments below, my life has purpose. And may God continue to guide your steps, strengthen your faith, and reveal his purpose for your life one step at a time. If you are new here, then please do subscribe to my channel for more help and encouragement. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another poetic reflection. And until the next time, take care.